am pinning it to the top, so say hello to the Greater Cincinnati Craft Beer
Hello.
Society.
Hello.
But
Don't say bad things about me.
don't forget to turn off your phone
Oh yeah.
and silence it, because otherwise then we'll get a fun reverb.
Which people start calling
Jesse
me.
always forgets to do.
Yes, I always forget to do
Oh wait, because it like backs.
Yeah, it'll like.
And
pick
there's
up
a
off the
delay
phone and,
too, because
Phone is off. Computer's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So in
Awesome.
case you guys ask me any tricky questions, I don't
Oh,
know.
see,
I got my cheat sheet
I
here.
sent you all the tricky
I know.
questions.
There were a lot of tricky ones. So.
Well, everyone, thank you for joining us once again. We are BrewMinds. I am Jesse, and here with
Tom.
and we're joined by the founder of 50 West, Bobby. So
Yeah.
just gonna talk Punch Out today. Are you
It's
guys
awesome.
excited?
Not as excited as I am about you wearing the old school 50 West orange shirt.
I love it.
It's my favorite shirt.
Tom
I
gets it
normally
old
wear it, and
school.
everybody was always like, that was a limited release.
I
That was
did not
like
know
that was our second shirt we ever put out.
Well, it's just like Tom. He was an extremely limited release.
Yeah.
I remember I got it when the first Co-Pilot came out.
Is that when you picked? Okay.
Yeah.
The first shirt was a beige one, beige and blue.
Yeah.
And then we came out with that orange one. Thank you for wearing it. I appreciate it.
My friend has one too that he wears because it's high vis, which he needs for work, so he loves it.
Oh, good.
High vis orange.
Yeah, that was the thought with it. Yeah.
Well, for everyone watching at home, feel free to chime in the comments. We will address those questions and comments as we can, as the conversation allows. But we're here to talk about 50 West, and the Punch Out. So let's break down Punch Out round 2.
Okay. So, second time we're gonna do this. The first time we did it, it was a pipe dream. It was a hey. We keep doing beer festivals, we keep having events, we feel like we're kind of going to the same thing over and over again. What can we do that would make this different and more fun? And so somehow this crazy idea came up. We were like, oh, everybody's trying to match up so-and-so against so-and-so. And we were looking at, we punch in the IPA and we're like, what if we just got everybody to like fight each other? Like what if so we called up, I'll never forget this. I sat up in our dingy little office up there and I called up, I think I called Kenny first. From Mantry, and I called him and I said, Kenny, I just got off the phone with Ryan Geist. They are very excited about participating in this event. It's going to sound crazy, but we're in and Ryan Geist is in. So what we're saying is we need a guy from your brewery, and we're going to pay for him to go to a boxing gym and train for a month and a half, and we're going to have all the breweries fight each other and build this ring. And I remember him being like, Ryan Geist is in? I'm like, yeah. Like, you guys are in? I'm like, yeah. I'll get back to you. Like, okay. So he texts me back a little bit later. He goes, Mantry's in. Oh, I gotta go like this. Sorry. I'm missing. I'm a mystery man in here.
There you go.
So then I got Kenny in. So then I turned around and I called Ryan Geist up and I said,
Oh, nice.
hey, I said, I just got on the phone with Mantry. They're in, we're in. So then they were in. And then I knew once we kind of had, I was like, okay, now we kind of got we got both of them in.
3 people and now the ball's rolling.
Now we're moving. So then we just started reaching out to everybody and pitching the idea. And breweries embraced it. And so the first year, I'll never forget, it was like from before the fight. I'm standing there with Max, and all the pieces are coming together. You guys saw it when a little bit over there, they're putting the big lighting up. You can kind of start to feel the energy when you start to see it coming together. And so the whole thing's put together and just looks awesome. And I'm sitting there with Max, and all of a sudden I get real nervous, and I'm like, Max, I've never fought, or I've never even seen a boxing match, let alone fight in one. I go, this might be really boring. And Max and the lady who built the ring heard what I said. Her whole family came out and built it. And she goes, honey, when 2 people put on those gloves, it ain't never boring. And I was like, all right, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. So fast forward about like a day later, and I don't think I slept the night before, and I was just like burning with adrenaline. I fought Logan from Taft's Ale House, who, I don't know if I've said this out loud, but about, I would say like 24 hours before the fight, in my head, Logan was attempting to attack my children. He was coming after my family.
Oh, man.
He was. I had myself convinced that like if I do not get this guy, then he's gonna ruin my entire family. So anyway, so the fight goes on, and next thing I know, I'm standing in the middle of the ring, and all the people that we wanted there were there, and everything we wanted to have happen happened, and you could feel the energy from all the breweries that were there. Everybody was just kind of like, like, this is awesome. Like, I can't believe it's happening. And then I went in the ring and I fought Logan, and then I got finished, and everybody was just like super jazzed up. And I quickly found out like we're out of beer. Like we ran out of everybody's beer, and people seemed to be like not that mad about it. Like they were like, that kind of sucks, but we'll figure it out. And so right after the fight, I'll never forget, Max and I just went and grabbed the cans we had for volleyball, and I just started like, I just had them in my hands, and I was like, give me a beer ticket. I'll give you that.
So you like just got done fighting.
Just
you're bruised up, you're bloody, you're tired.
Yes.
You're like, oh, kids, gotta move.
Kids, you know,
That's a valiant effort.
That's somebody asked me today. They said, "Are we going to relax and enjoy this year? Are you going to enjoy it?" And I said, "I enjoy being a part of the event. Like that's my favorite part, is being in the middle of it. The adrenaline rush of, is everything working? Is the beer pouring right?" And so I don't know. I kind of stepped aside. I'm like, I'm really going to enjoy this, but I don't know how it's gonna fly. So yeah. So this year's we got more beer than ever before. We've got more fights than ever
80
before.
beers?
So we're gonna have 80 different beers on tap. We have 34 different breweries. It is awesome what we're doing. Like I take this back. It's not awesome what we're doing. It's awesome what the beer community has become. Right? Like when we did our first 50 Fest, it was like, did we get Mount Carmel? Did we get Moorline? Did we get Mad Tree? Did we get Ryan Geist? Did we get Listerman? You know what I mean? Like right, you know. And then this year, I mean, there's just so many breweries that have opened up, and I don't necessarily like, you don't see them, right? You know what I mean? As often. And now we're gonna have our guy who took over our warehousing used to be the GM at Brass Tap, so he knew the whole inventory. He's like, I got the contacts. Let's do it. Let's call it up. So
you guys are getting a pretty good roster here.
Yeah, we're excited about our team. We got big things ahead, and it's fun. This is a fun week for us. It's a busy week, but
So is it only local breweries, or are you get some guys
Just
from
local.
outside of town?
This event, okay, so what this event in my mind is, this is Cincinnati's opportunity to make its mark on a national level and say, we're doing something totally different than whatever the rest of the beer community in the United States is doing. And so that's something for us that we look at as like, hey, that's what Kroger loved about this, and why they really want to be a part, is Kroger really wants Cincinnati to understand that like they're all about local. Those all the taps that they have allocated in their stores, they want all those taps to be local taps, and they want all the growler fills to be local beer, because they believe in local. They think that I don't want to speak too much on their behalf, but I think they see commitment to local as an important part of their identity in the space. And that was what was neat. They're like, hey, a company like Kroger, you approach them with like a fighting idea.
Right.
That's not something that they're like. Like a lot of people are like, how did you get them to do that? I'm like, listen. They're committed to the beer community in Cincinnati. They're committed to craft, and so it was just cool to it was cool to sit down with them and have them be like the beer department was pushing it so hard, and then I got passed over to marketing, and marketing's kind of put me through the all right, do you check this box? Do you check back? And the beer side was calling, they were sending me text messages. What are they saying? How do we get this through? We got to make this happen. So
well, and you guys are getting some national press out of it too, aren't you? Like have 2 or 3 reporters.
Yeah,
some national publications.
I was supposed to head out to BrewMinds about 3 weeks ago, and I was so pumped to go and so excited to talk about it, and Delta canceled my flight.
Oh.
It was the worst. So we're hoping that they can come out from that side and talk about it. But I think this is something that, I mean, if you see it in person, you totally understand it. If you hear about it, you kind of understand it. And that's the hope, is we just keep building on it, and it becomes something really special for Cincinnati, and continues to build on this awesome beer community that's, that you guys have been a big part of growing, right? Like,
yeah, well, we want everybody to go. So can you kind of break down dates, times, locations, parking? I know is a big issue kind of around here. So can you kind of break that down for us?
Yeah. So it's gonna be July 8th, this Saturday. Poster's right there. You can go to cincyticket.com. It's $15 in advance to get a ticket.
And what does the ticket get you?
Ticket gets you in the door. So just so everybody understands the commitment to building this whole event. It's an incredibly expensive event for us to put together, and so
the insurance is probably expensive for that.
Whether it's if you see the lighting,
the boxing ring,
what we want,
build a boxing ring.
Build the boxing ring, get the lighting together, get all the pieces in place, and so for us, it's all about how do we want to not only do it, but do it in a way that it really feels special. Did you guys make it last year?
Unfortunately,
I did not. Okay. I was there for the setup and everything. But,
that's the part. Like for us, we said to make this thing special, we have to do it like a pro, right? Like we could have just put a ring in there, and we could have just put gotten like a rope, like what's that movie where they fight in like the sand? It's Jean-Claude Van Damme. Remember he blind throws
the Quest.
No, I don't know if it's Quest.
No, that was
Bloodsport.
Yes,
Bloodsport. We could have gone Bloodsport style with it, which would have been really barbaric. But we just looked at it and we were like, hey, we're gonna raise this ring up, and then the idea is like, well, lighting's gonna be this much, and we're like, you know what? I think that we can make something that people will understand the value and they'll want to come out for. So that's what the ticket price is.
Well, the video from it last year was just phenomenal looking at it. It was totally unique.
I had something going on last year, but Rick Arman from the Ohio Beer Blog, he said it was one of the best events he's ever been to.
Yeah.
And I mean, the guy's probably been to every event in the state of Ohio, so I think that really says something. Every beer event anyway.
There's an energy that's there. There's an energy in the room there that you just can't replicate and you can't understand it unless you're there.
So, sorry.
Go ahead.
So $15 for tickets, and that gets you in the door.
15 gets you in the door, and then you can buy beers from there. $5 a beer.
Okay.
If you come day up,
for like 8, 10, 16 ounces,
whatever you want.
Okay.
Whatever you want.
Cool.
We're not gonna. It's not like, oh, this one gets you this or that.
Yeah.
$5 a beer. You go through, do your thing. So you've got that piece of it. If you come day of, though, if you don't buy in advance, it's $20.
Okay.
So the reason.
That's understandable.
Yeah, and it helps us out because it helps us to plan.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the hardest things for us is if we get floored that day, there is a cutoff point, right? Like from an attendance standpoint, there's a cutoff point, and it's high, and I don't think we'll hit it, but it helps us with the planning to make sure everything goes well. So.
Well, speaking of planning, where should people plan to park?
Okay.
And everything to get around, or are you going to do shuttles like you've done for?
Shuttles for 50 Fest, same thing.
Awesome.
Anybody that's done it in the past, it's pretty straightforward. You just kind of. So the church around the corner works with us.
Right.
They're going to open up their lot to everybody at 6 o'clock. That one's open. We'll park up the street. Columbia Township's been a big part of this. That's the community we're in. So they'll step up and we'll park up and down the street behind us. And then we also have the parking to the left. And, I don't know. You'll see it.
Yeah.
When you drive in, we'll put a map up online that everybody can see. But
now, do you have a website specifically for the punch
parking?
out, or is it all?
It's all in 50 West. If you go to 50westbrew.com, you
Cool.
can see it. And I think we don't have the map up right now, but we should be putting the map up tomorrow for parking. But if you've been to 50 Fest, I don't know if you guys know this, but I ran parking for like 2 years at 50 Fest. It's like my sick love. So like it was so funny because people are like coming back from 50 Fest and they're like, that was awesome. How was it? Oh, they're like, what do you do? And I'm like, I kind of own it, and they're like, "Why are you driving the van?" I'm like, "I don't know, I just kind of like it. I like to talk to you and ask you about like what went
I was
well."
on a bus that you were running back and forth one time.
Yeah.
I was going to say the parking has
it.
always been spectacular for 50 Fest.
Yeah.
I mean, for an event that big and the parking's just great, says something. So.
Craft Connection
Kudos.
stepping up, so we're using their buses. Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
nice.
it's good. It better be because I invested a lot of time in learning how to do parking. So yeah,
It's a skill you never know where it's going to take
I
you.
could go. I literally, if this doesn't work out, like if anybody's out there and has parking needs, I know it. Like I know it really well.
I opened a brewery to learn how to run parking.
Yeah, exactly.
Those odd side skills you pick up.
Yeah, it's
Well, no, needs I have. We need to talk about the beer. Like you're going to have 80-some beers, but tell me about these punch-out variants.
okay. So we're gonna have 4 different variants that our brewers are doing up. It's gonna be pouring out of the bus, which we're super excited about.
Nice.
We're not gonna divulge what those variants are yet. You have to come to try them. But the brewers are pumped about it. They love anytime they get to play with that stuff.
Anything you can kind of tease out?
I mean, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be. Here's what I'll tell you. It's gonna be super fresh. Like they're literally making these variants. Like we have it scheduled, like as close as you can to the event, just because we want that product to come out of there, totally fresh, totally cool. And it's a fun thing for our brewers to play with when they get the opportunity to go back there and spice up their things they've already did. That's something that's fun for me, and it's fun for the crowds too because they get a chance to try a punch in IPA variant they've never had before. So
Now, for the people who can't go, are you going to be streaming this live on the web or anywhere? I'm sure there'll be a video.
oh god,
to
that's
come out later.
a great question. No, I don't think we're streaming it live anywhere. Just for the record, the Facebook live stream we were quoted it was some like absurd number to do it. I want to say it was like $15,000 or something. I don't know if this cost $15,000.
No.
So maybe you guys can help us with that. So when we were looking at the production value of it, and we were like, should we do this? Should we not do it? We actually talked to Channel 12 also about doing a tape delayed, fully broadcast version, which I think next year we'll end up doing. This year we just didn't have enough planning.
That'd be really cool.
You gotta come to 19, man.
What's that?
You gotta come to my people.
Oh,
That's 19.
yeah. You know what? Okay, so if they're interested, like we'll throw it out to all the TV stations. 12 came back with a fairly it was a nice offer what they put together. It was just too expensive for what our budget had for this year. But next year it's something that I think what's so funny is there's those late night wrestling shows, right? That are on it's not like WWF, but it's like third tier wrestling and whatnot. But it's great to watch at midnight or 12:30 on a random night, right? Like you can just pick up the TV and be like, this is interesting.
Right around my house at this weird little flea market, they do what I would call hill jack wrestling.
Yes.
Every Saturday, it's the lowest tier, way lower than USL or any of that.
Yes.
It's just come up $5 to get in and see some local wrestling. Can you tell us?
Sorry.
No, can you tell us a little bit about this BC's Bottle Share event?
Oh, the sharing tent?
Yes.
The sharing tent.
Because I talked with Max a little bit, and I can tell you that GCCBS is very excited to come here and pop some bottles.
What is a sharing tent? What you do in that tent is up to you, but we're calling it a sharing tent. BC Bottle Lodge, they came to us, they're like, we really want to get involved in this. How do we do something fun? How do we do something cool? We love the community, and we thought, hey, let's create an area where people can kind of just come do their thing. We also think it's a nice thing that kind of leads up to the fight. So for us last year, we opened the doors. It was so funny. We put this whole thing together, and we opened the doors at 4 o'clock. There was nothing to do till 7:30 but drink beer. And we're like, oh, that's plenty. And all these people kind of got there, and we're like, well, what are we supposed to do? And we're like, there'll be boxing eventually. And I think people just stood around okay. So we were bouncing ideas on things that we could do to lead up to it. And just from watching our bottle releases, I mean, it's kind of a tailgate, right? That's what it is. So We're like, what better way to tailgate before a boxing event than just put a little tent that suggests come and share ideas.
And you guys definitely embraced that with the hashtag worst bottle release ever for Blue Melvin.
We love that. We love that.
That was fantastic.
It's just having fun, right? This is all fun. I think people get, in the chat rooms, people get really worked up and stuff. But at the end of the day, I think everybody's just having fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally it gets overly emotional, but you're in there to have fun. And I think some people just like to antagonize to make it greater. So we were like, hey, what if we brought that to life and see what the people's reactions are? So we had fun with the Blue Melvin one, and then we just said, hey, how do we do something else that would be different from what anybody else has done? And I don't know. We talked to guys at BC Bottle Lodge, hey, you guys want to try this? Sure.
So it looks like you guys are also going to have some amateur bouts and stuff beforehand.
Yes.
Before the
amateur exhibition matches is what they're officially called.
Nice.
So we train at this, we're training at this gym, and there's all these other people that are training there, and we have this awesome stadium, right? And the fact is, those people actually look like they know what they're doing when they get in there. Not to say that there's going to be a few people that look like they know what they're doing, but so they're always looking to they're in their training and they want to get out and test their skills, and so they came to us and like, hey, could we kind of put smidgen off a little bit of this and just have some of our people come out? PJ Pope's going to be fighting. I don't know if you guys know. He played in the NFL.
Nice.
I played against him in high school baseball. I got him out. He hit the furthest ball you could possibly hit, but he hit it too high, and that was it. So he's 0 for 1 for me in his career, which was a big.
So you're going to be betting for him or betting against him?
I'm betting for him. He's freaking NFL caliber. So we, Greg Landsman, who's running for city council, is going to be fighting. So there's a bunch of just cool guys that are going to get up there, and it's on the early part of it, so you get here at 4, and it's not going to be as big of a production as when the breweries do it, but it gives you something to watch. There's something fun about watching people box. I can't. Ryan Blanford, who's with Taps now, who worked for us before, and I loved. He said it best after that event last year. He goes, Bobby, he's like, I was totally against this. I didn't know why we would have breweries fight breweries. I was kind of like, this is gonna be stupid. And he goes, there's something about when two people get in a boxing ring, he's like, and you're watching them. He said, a part of you really wants to see someone get hurt, and some part of you doesn't want to see anyone get hurt. And he said, it's part of who you are as a person that you're just kill him, no, hurt him, no, and so I think that those exhibition matches, they'll be a little bit more technical, a little bit more fun to watch, and it'll be something fun to do between 4. So those will go from 4 o'clock till roughly call it 6:30. Then we have the band go on 6:30 to 7:30, and then we're gonna do and then the brewery fights start 7:30 and go to probably 10:30, 11, and then Ernie Johnson from Detroit goes on at the end again and brings down the house.
Well, nice. Well, speaking of the fights, my last question about the event, I was curious which bout you're most excited for. And according to your guys' press release, we've got Frankie Rosenkrantz from 50 West.
Franny
Rosenkrantz.
It's okay. We've only spelled her name wrong like 50 times. She always reminds us. So we could mispronunciation works too.
And it'd help if I knew English. So then Amanda Coomer from Taps, and then Brett Reigel from Taps, Mitch Daltrey, who now works for Rheingeist. He was the head brewer at 8 Ball.
That in the really other way with Rheingeist.
Yeah.
He's helping out there on the side. And you've got Josh Adams from Rheingeist versus Blake Littleton from Braxton, Joshua Wilson from 50 West versus Simon Krechik from Mad Tree.
Simon, who did the Mad Tree Funk Day video with us.
Mm-hmm. And then, this one's going to be interesting.
There's a photo of him online Mad Tree posted today.
I saw that.
Yeah, the stave or whatever.
He looks like
stave.
Scary and handsome and sexy at the same time, right?
This fight I think will be really interesting. You've got Bob Bonder, the owner of Rheingeist, versus Christian Heck from 50 West, and then the top fight of the night will be Kiri Crawford from Taps versus Corinna Brockman, who's coming back for her second match
Both
from
of them.
Listerman.
They fought each other last
year.
year.
Really? So it's a rematch.
Nice. They closed down the house last time. Everybody loved it. Those girls are tough. What am I most excited about? What I'm most excited about is those people, everyone that's stepping in that ring is about to have an experience in their life that they will never forget ever. Like I always say, I said this the other day, and somebody was interviewing me, and I said the three moments in my life that were just like so like intense and amazing would be like my children being born, my marriage to my wife, and then standing up in the ring and punch out was like just like there's an intensity level there where you're nervous, or am I going to get hurt? You're nervous, am I going to be embarrassed? Like and then there's something fun about when you hit somebody. When 2,000 people make a noise when you hit somebody, like not only is it fun to connect in somebody, like but when it's like wow, that was awesome, like.
And then the whole crowd erupts.
And then everybody goes nuts, and you're like, and then when you can hit the same thing, you feel it, and then you're like, oh no.
How are you able to like concentrate, like hearing the crowd go off and like doing the fight?
Like I said, I was so Logan. In my mind, Logan was trying to take my children. My kids were in jeopardy.
Psych yourself
I was very focused on him. I mean, it's nerve wracking. Like you literally. There's such an adrenaline rush there that you just can't. It kind of like everything just goes. Mm-hmm. But it's really special, and every one of those people will walk away from this and never forget that in their entire lives. There's not a lot of times that you get to go show exactly what you're made out of in front of that many people, like where they're just watching you and someone else. So I'm excited for that, and I'm excited for our staff. A lot of people were like, "Hey, why aren't you fighting again?" I wanted somebody from our team to have that opportunity. That was part of it. I also had our third kid. My wife was like, I will literally kill you if you try to do this.
Plus now you're going to drive the bus for the parking.
Plus who's going to do the parking?
Wait, so you're on kid number 3?
I just had my third kid.
When are you going to have time for video games now, man?
Oh my God, I have time. Raspberry Pi. My wife got me one for Father's Day. My son is 4.5. Mm-hmm. But what I've done is, I know. Everyone's like, you're such a loser. Like, why are you so into video games?
No.
This is
I love them. I love them. It's actually problematic. We actually got in trouble. So the other day I was watching the kids, and my wife and my son and I, George, we were playing Zelda down in the basement for like 2 hours. And my wife came home and she's you're both in trouble. Get off of that thing. So yeah, George is into video games now, which is just the freaking greatest thing ever. So what I did was we got a Raspberry Pi. I'm not showing him any video games. Like we're starting the same way I started, which was like we started Nintendo, and we got like Mike Tyson's, we got Zelda. Super Tecmo Bowl is a little bit too complicated for him right now. Mm-hmm. We got Contra. This is like so excited about this. Okay, so we're playing Contra. She got it for me for Father's Day, which was super cool. My wife, I love her. She's the reason we can do all these things because she literally just like holds down the fort for us and works a full-time job. But so we're playing Contra in the basement. My son's just the coolest kid, and he loves it. Like freaking loves Contra. And he's like, Dad. So we're playing it. He was all upset because the code wouldn't work at first because my controller was off, and like I was like trying to get the code for 30 plus. Like, because Contra is like impossible to beat unless you have the code, right? Like it's a really hard game. So we're playing it, and my son's like, all of a sudden he's like, Dad. He's like, the guys in Contra, they're not wearing shirts. He's like, should we take our shirts off? I'm like, of course we should take our shirts off. So we both took our shirts off and we're in the basement with our video games playing. I'll send you a picture of it. You can post it online. It's hilarious. It's like, it's the two of us just like sitting there like mean mugging, holding controllers, no shirts
on. That's
awesome. So I'm back on video games thanks to him. We're going to keep it limited so he doesn't get as obsessive about it as I did.
You got to do a whole beer series around that. Man, like a nice little bottle series.
So one Max actually brought this up to me. He's like, dude, every time you guys do a bottle release, he's like, you should hold back a bottle for your son, and then when he turns 21, give it to him. Like, hey, look what we did. So I started doing that about 2 releases ago. I missed the first one, so that kind of stinks. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to watch his life grow up. All my kids and then my nephew. My nephew's a huge 50 West fan. So like at school the other day, he drew a map of everything important to him. So he drew his house, his school, his church, and 50 West. And his teachers were like, what is this? So they're all excited about it. Sorry to tangent off on
No, that's great.
You got me real excited about it. 2 things I love are my kids and video games. That's it. So I'm back on video games.
Well, speaking of bottles and everything, are there, after the success of Blue Melvin, are there any more bottle releases coming up here soon that we should know about?
For us, it's all about what's aging in those barrels. So we're not putting timelines on it. We kind of look at like, all right, here's what we have. Let's see what it tastes like when it gets there, and then we can work from there. We are working on getting into package in grocery stores right now. You can expect to see 50 West in your local grocery store. I would say end of this year, beginning of next year.
Is that bottles, cans, or
cans?
Nice.
So we've been going through the can designs, and we're getting close. It's the most nerve-wracking decision I could ever make because we were so intentional with everything we did leading up to this, and so it's like we worked so hard with self-distribution to build our name with no package out in the marketplace. We're the 3rd best-selling local beer, and we have 0 package to help us with that like additional exposure and stuff. And we did it all like this is the way we're going to do it. So now we finally reached that point where we have to release the package. And in our heads, it's this perfect looking thing. But then when you have to actually put it on paper, you're like, is this what everybody thinks it should be? And so we're down to 2 designs right now. And they're both super cool. We feel like they'll both be something special when they hit the shelves. But yeah, we're finalizing that last piece. And then, I don't know, it's a big step for us at 50 West. We're really excited about it. Our staff's excited about it. I mean, think about all these people that have been working here for this long and like, the frustration of never being able to just like have your own beer in your fridge. Like that's a cool thing, right?
Well, you guys were bottling punch for a little bit, right?
We did. We packaged it off in the beginning, and there was an issue with the bottling line when we did it, and we just we're like, this isn't exactly where we want it to be. So we basically shut the bottling line down, and then we were like, all right, let's get focused on getting that package fully out there. So initially with the plan for punch was basically like, hey, we'll roll it out in our place, and it ran well, but the bottling machine, like, the one we got just didn't work. So
can you say yet what beers will be in cans at the end of this year?
I'm not going to divulge it yet.
Okay.
We actually have a whole show planned around that we built out for today, but we'll have to circle back around.
Do you want me to,
no, we'll come back on close.
Yeah, we'll focus on.
I mean, you can guess. You can guess. You can guess. You can probably guess a couple of them.
I'm really just hoping for punch because that's one of my favorite beers in the city. Which is awesome.
I think you're gonna like. I'll say you will see punch. You will see it. I think you're going to see it. That's going to get a little bit of extra special love in there. We're just excited about it. We worked hard, and our teams work hard, and it's fun for people to go home like not have to bring growlers are just so frustrating, right? Like, do you seatbelt them into your car, or do you put them on the floor? Like, where do they go? How does that work?
Got to get those crowler caddies.
The growler on board thing, yeah.
Yeah, but those are kind of like, right? They're just tough. My father-in-law came to my house and brought me a growler, a Punch in the IPA to my house, and I was like, I was like, thank you, but like,
hey, at least he's brand low, man.
Yeah, I know. He's like, he got it, like they were having a party and he got it, and they ended up drinking it. So I was like, well, I'll give it to you. I was like, man, I can kind of bring some. I really just like hate growlers at this point. Like, there's just too many of them in my house, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be a better solution. I know crowlers are there, and it just has to be something better. So,
well, just briefly, can you tell us anything about the future of the Melvin series, how that's going to move forward?
I mean, we got to get with Danny on that, really, and figure it out. I know people get really excited about it.
Well, there's a few variants, right?
Yeah, I mean,
3 different barrel variants still from
we still have stuff aging. We have some things on reserve. You know, Danny, Danny's whole transition thing kind of made things a little bit like okay, but the coolest thing about it is he's still like, this is going on, like we're making this happen. So you'll see more coming down the pipeline. I can't give you a specific date when it's coming, where it's going to be. Are people going to say bad stuff about us online? We're going to mess with them.
Do you think you'll do the small bottles again, or are you going to do big format?
Small for those. I don't know.
Now, like Copilot,
you'll see something coming down the line for that.
Excellent. Good.
That's going to be the next one.
Good.
That one is like,
that's.
I can tell you I know where that is right now, and I know where it's about to be, and that's.
Well, you're going to take us down there after this, right?
Oh, you want
to do some nail pulls?
Have you been down there? It's awesome down there.
It's creepy.
It is kind of.
This was in 1827.
Yeah.
It's before Nintendo.
Yeah, when
I'm just kidding.
What
happened?
On the main floor, you can't tell it, but when you walk down those steps, and the steps are like worn down, and you're like, that spider's probably like 100 years old.
Yeah.
And it's on these big stones. You're like, okay, this is weird.
Or you hit your head like walking, like slavery was going on, right? Like think about how weird that is. This building's super old. It's there's something special about this place, and yeah, something creepy about that basement.
Now the other one I got to ask about is 10 and 2. You just did 10 and 2 earlier this year.
Yeah.
Is there any more 10 and 2 coming?
You'll see a barrel aged variant of that.
I just had BA 2015 10 and 2.
How'd it taste?
Just last night. It was fantastic.
Good.
It was really good.
It's I mean that's gonna be coming down the pipe. I mean those are gonna always be staples for us that kind of hit in that time frame. I think our guys wanna play a little bit more. That's something that's just fun to do.
Oh yeah.
So that's
awesome.
Well, lastly, for the people at home, can you go over the details of Punch Out one more time? And see a lot of people there.
CincyTicket.com. It's
$15 in advance.
Or $20 at the door. Floor seats are $30. If you want to sit the floor, which is actually really cool. It's kind of worth it.
And what time does the bottle share start?
Sharing tent?
The sharing tent. Sharing tent.
Hey, whatever you want to do.
You can share house.
Whatever.
You can share books.
Yeah. Ideas. Ideas. Whatever you share. Have fun. There's a boxing fight. That's gonna start at 3. So we let you in a little bit early.
Cool.
Let you guys have some fun. And yeah, it's gonna be special. Weather right now looks good.
Yeah, well,
unlike right now.
No, this is good. This is like all week I've been like rain. Right? If it rains now, then it's like it doesn't. You see like a huge rainstorm. Like, oh, that shifted today. And you're like, no.
Well, according to our meteorologist at Fox 19, it looks like Saturday, Sunday are going to be dry, cooler, and pretty perfect. Might even be in like the high 70s.
Is it a rain or shine event?
Rain or shine. People have been training, ready to fight. I'm excited to see Bob fight. Bob from Ryan Geist at the end of his last year. I'll never forget this. Like I was in the bathroom getting ready, and he was coming, and like he just had his like look like a kid in a candy store. He was like, "This is it! Like I'm doing this! I'm doing this right now!" Like he was so jazzed about it. And then I saw him back in like I want to say like November or January. I was over at Ryan Geist, and he's like, "Hey, you want to spar?" I'm like, "Spar!" I'm like,
wait, has he been training this whole time?
I think he's like boxing's awesome. Boxing training is just it's cool. You get hurt, right? Like that's fun. It's not fun like, oh, I want to get hurt, but there's something like, I don't know, it's fun to get hit. It's fun to like see what you got against another person.
Makes you feel alive.
It takes like all, you got like all society and like all the things that it makes you feel. Like you get hit by somebody, you're like, oh, this is back to like before everybody put all this stuff in here, and you're just like, this is what I've got, this is what they've got. It's gonna be cool to see everybody do it. I'm excited about all the beers that are gonna be there. Like that's
80 plus.
It's just gonna be cool. You're gonna have all those different breweries that people are like, it's not just gonna be like, and we have the same amount from every brewery, right? So it's not like you're gonna have an overload from one side or the other. It's like
perfect little beer festival.
And 34 different breweries.
34 different breweries. You've got basically 2 styles from each one of them coming, and it's a pain in the butt logistically. Like I was just like, we're gonna be writing checks all day because it's like all these guys self-distribute now, or a good majority of them. So they're like, oh, write me this check, write me that. It's like, shoot. Sorry, that's like business talk. It's boring.
I think
they're like, oh, you have to write checks.
I think it's interesting, but I'm sure other people don't.
It was just like today, right? I was laying the plywood down for the stadium, and then I was just hanging on the nets up, and then they're like, we gotta write checks, and I'm like. So walk down. I just ended up giving my checkbook to Tex, who's done all this, and been like, Tex, these are the numbers on the checks. These are my signatures. Like, just
Take just like blank check, blank check, blank check.
make
blank
sure
check,
all
go.
of these like come back okay. I'm sure Tex is probably on his way to Texas right now. Like, I got these checks.
All the things you never thought you'd do when you open a business.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? It's the coolest freaking business ever. It is the coolest business ever. It is very taxing. There's so much. There's just so many moving pieces, and I'm so blessed to have been a part of this. I love every single aspect of it, and I love every challenge of it. And there's not like we're running a restaurant, we're running a distribution channel, we're running a manufacturing plant, we're running a sales like operation. Like there's all these pieces that come into it, and everybody's always like. Somebody said this to me once. It was really, really great advice. Like it's like a duck. They're like, at the surface, it's just like you're just like, but if you go underneath, it's like, right? So, it's. I love it. I love everything about this industry. It's been so cool to be a part of it. Events like this, at the end of the day, we question like, is it worth all the time and energy? And I think it is. Like with those experiences those people are going to get, it's not like we're going to make a boatload of cash off of this. It's more so like, hey, let's see how cool we can make this without losing. So it's, I don't know. I love this industry, and I thank you guys because I'll say this a million times, but it was your commitment to this industry when we first started that really started getting the word out, right? Like that's what started to, like the stories you guys were writing were getting just like all of a sudden it would just get like picked up and the people wanted to talk about it and whatnot. And it's been so cool to watch it just like happen and people embrace it and I don't know. I'm very fortunate to be where I am and thank you. Yeah.
Well,
thank you for making us this beer.
Yeah.
And we're excited for fight night.
Yeah. Awesome. Any other things? Any other stuff?
No. So again, everybody, Saturday, July 8th. Doors open at 4 p.m. or
3 p.m. 3 p.m. if you're gonna go share at BC.
Fights start.
4
fights start at 7:30.
7:30.
7:30 for the Brewers fight.
Yeah.
Amateurs start at 4.
Yeah, you're so 4 to 6. You'll see that the band's gonna go on. They're gonna be killer. They've got like jumpsuits and they bring the energy. It is
a spectacle you can't.
I'm telling you, there's nothing like this. There's nothing, and I'm not just saying that. Like we could be sitting here for 50 Fest. I don't get this excited for 50 Fest. I love 50 Fest. I think it's a cool event. I think you should come out to it and you'll love it. But there's an energy at this that you will not experience this year. There's nothing like it. Like you will just be like, oh my God, that is absolutely wild, and I'm loving it. Well,
I think that was it.
Yeah. You heard it here first. Go to Cincinnati Craft Beer Society and everyone watching at home.
For anybody who's still hung with us, I know we had a lot of technical issues. We are going to get a new video up as soon as possible that should resolve all those issues for you. And thank you for watching or listening. You should go and watch.
See ya.
Bye.